Welcome everyone to Why Do You Do, a program about passion and purpose and why we do the things we do. I am Sam Cordes, and today I am in conversation with Sachi Arachchi. Sachi, welcome to the program.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for having me in your program.
Thank you. It's a real pleasure to have you here. We met recently when you reached out to me to seek some advice about next steps in your career.
Yeah,
and that was really lovely conversation. And you're an upcoming business analyst, and you've recently graduated from the University of South Australia. And that was the Master of Information Technology Enterprise Management.
Yes.
Congratulations. So when did you graduate?
I graduated on last month, April 22nd.
Oh, okay. Very good. That's very recent.
Yes,
Yeah.
I completed my course on last December, but my graduation was on last April. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So you've got a number of qualifications. So you've also got a management degree from University College Dublin.
Yes. Yeah, that is in when I was back in Sri Lanka. Yeah, I was qualified in bachelor's in management.
Yeah. Okay. Did you go? That's an Irish university, is that right? Did you go to Ireland, or did you?
Yes, that is affiliated with the Ireland University College of Dublin.
Oh,
but I did my studies in Sri Lanka.
In Sri Lanka. Okay. And you've also got diplomas in labour law and industrial relations, business management and computer science.
Yes.
That's a lot. That's really good. You like studying then?
Yes, because labour laws and industrial relations was really helpful for me for my previous career.
Yes.
So yeah. So I thought it's beneficial for me to being qualified on that field too.
Yeah, very good. And now you also mentor as at University of South Australia in the Uni Mentor program. Is that right?
Yes, I was a uni mentor for the period of 6 months.
Okay.
At the University of South Australia.
Okay. And what do you do? What did you do with the mentoring?
Well, during that period, I had a few students, not few actually, somewhere around 15 to 20 students assigned to me. So then I had to contact them, and I had to be in touch with them regarding their matters, because as the international students, and even the not the international students, all the new students, they are going through different kinds of difficulties when they are entered to the university studies. So for me, as a person who gone through all of those difficulties, or I was assigned some of the students who were in the similar field in the same degree. So if they have any matters or any issues regarding assignments, or how to get into the studies, in how to get into the university, how to being adapted to the university culture. So they had a chance to contact me either in person or via email. And then I assist them in all those areas.
Okay, that's very good. It sounds like it would have kept you very busy on top of your studies.
Yes, but it was a bit interesting.
Yeah, well, it is quite fulfilling to help other people.
Yes, because I believe, like, even when I started as international students, through this mentoring program, I got a lot of benefits. So I realized how to get adapted to the university culture, especially me being an international student, the study culture and the way we are doing assignments, how to doing the researching and referencing, all the things that differ. So I believe that this was a good chance for me to help them back to the new students. So even though it was a bit busy, I really enjoyed that period.
That's very good. So just one thing, what was the one major thing that how do I put this? In terms of adapting to culture, what was the biggest issues?
In terms of adapting to the culture,
Yes.
yes, the biggest, you mean the issue or the challenge?
Yes.
Yeah, the challenge.
What? Just one
Yes.
or two things. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe because when it comes to when we think about Australia, it's a multinational country because
Yeah.
there are a lot of nationalities rather than what I experienced back in my country. Because
Yeah.
I'm from Sri Lanka and we have four major nationalities. I mean, four major religions in our
Yes.
country, but when it
Yeah.
comes to Australia, there are a lot of people from different areas of the world. So their cultures are different. So the way they think, the way they behave, the things they value are differ from one to another. So I
Yeah.
think that is the one of the main challenge because sometimes the things that they value can be not that much valuable for one the other person. And also I believe when it comes to the studying culture, the main challenge is I don't know how about the other countries, but in my country, um, rather than the way that they are conducting programs in back when it comes to Australia, it is more practical because there's a lot of room for the practicality
Yeah.
in the when it comes to the studies because even though they teach us lecture us about the one theory, there's
Mm-hmm.
a more ways to for us to realize the practicality of that theory. So
Ah.
that was big challenge for me, and I believe the Asian students that
Okay.
will be impacted in the
Yeah.
same way because um, uh, just to shift to the studying mode.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. So, and recently you did an internship at Andrew Lawyers.
Yes, I
Yeah,
did internship and
yeah.
lawyers.
So, are you interested in law?
Yes, I'm interested in law, but there I was work as an intern business analyst.
Yes. Yeah. And what did you do as a BA in that work?
Well, I was assigned to a group of four people, and I had to work with them to, especially in order to identify their existing business processes.
Mm-hmm.
And I was mainly assigned to gather the information from two specific business areas. One is
Yeah.
called value creation, and the other one is called talent creation. Talent
Yeah.
creation is something more about the
Yeah.
HR related activities, and value creation is more about development because the company is developing different apps and programs which helps them to keep the talent and what do you call to improve their talents within the organization. So I
Yes.
had to work with these two specific departments
Yeah.
and I had to gather the details. Not only me along with another three members of a group,
Yeah.
and then had to gather the details from them regarding the existing business processes.
Mm-hmm.
And then mainly I had to came up with the BPM and diagrams, business.
Very good.
Yeah, that was the main task. So
Yeah.
then, while after in between when we are mapping the diagrams, when if we came across with any issue or any loophole with the existing system, we provide the management the details about those. So
Ah, very
yes,
good. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, very good. And so, what did you especially learn while you were working there?
Well, I learned because before that I did not had any experience in
Mhm.
Australia.
Yeah.
So I learned a lot of things about the Australian working culture, as well as I learned how the things that we learn, the concepts, and especially when it comes to the business process mapping, data gathering, stakeholder,
Yes.
gathering the details with the
Yeah.
stakeholders. It's not easy as the way that we are learning, because when it comes to the practical situation,
Mm,
we had to put a very detailed attention.
yes.
So I realized how it works in the practical workplace, and I gained a lot of experience, especially when it comes to the starting from the communication,
Yeah.
because especially I think it's more relaxed and casual when it comes to the I believe
Yeah.
in Australian
Yeah.
workplaces.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they are very open, and we can
Mm,
ask any question when if we came across with any difficulties, when we are going through the process. So
yeah.
the business managers were really flexible, and so I realized how flexible it is, and I believe, and I again I realized definitely we should have to have a very good knowledge on what we are doing. We just cannot enter to the job industry with having just a very rough idea about the
Yeah.
concepts. So we should have to have very detailed understanding on what we are doing, as well as
Mm,
communication and the networking. All matters when it comes to the workplace, and I believe they are flexible, and on the other hand we have to give our best 100% to
mm.
them.
That's right. Yeah. It's good that you've had that experience where they're very open and willing to help you. But
Yes,
obviously, you also recognise it's important to be organised and know what you're doing and know what questions to ask before you approach your stakeholders. And
yes,
and you also recognise how important the engagement piece is in business analysis work, which is
yeah.
excellent. So I see you as someone that has achieved success. You've come from Sri Lanka and you studied as an international student here to get your Master of Information Technology, and you've gained some experience in the workforce. So going back in time, where did this start? What motivated you to become a business analyst?
Well, if I talk a little bit about my background, I initially worked as an HR executive
Mm-hmm.
for a group of companies, which is
Yeah.
called Pledge Hotels and Resorts. And while when I was working there, I realized how potential is the IT industry. So what kind of opportunities are there for the future? And I realized I have the more capacity and more capability to get into this industry. I'm not saying the HR or administration is not that much
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
strong, or they don't need the people with the
Yeah.
capabilities, but I believe that I have more way to go with the IT, and with my capabilities, I thought of it's a better time for me to start my higher studies with the IT.
Yeah.
So that was
Mm-hmm.
influenced me to come to Australia and started my master's in IT from the bachelor's, because I had a bachelor's in management. So it's a big shift
Yes.
from bachelor in
Yeah.
management to
Yeah.
the master's in IT.
Yeah. But they're certainly all very useful qualifications and experience that you've got already, so that can contribute towards your business analysis career. So
Yeah.
that's still good.
Mm.
So what have been your biggest challenges along the way? You've already touched on it a little bit, but just a little bit more about what you think have been your biggest challenges.
Well, for me, now I believe the biggest challenge is being an international student in Australia, because it's really harder to get into the job industry,
Yeah.
even though after we qualified, even it doesn't matter whatever the GPA or whatever the qualification we had.
Yeah.
So I believe that is the biggest challenge that I have
Mm,
for the moment. And when I come to Australia, I believe the communication matters a lot because
Yes.
in my country, I studied my higher studies. I did my higher studies in English medium, but not my schooling, the school times. I did in my mother language.
Yeah.
So I believe language will matter
Yeah.
a lot when it
Yes.
comes to Australia, and because we have to deal with all the people with the
Yeah.
with the use of English language. So
Yes.
if we are more fluent, if we are more capable with the language, so there's more way to ask for us to score.
Mm-hmm.
We need the knowledge, but on the other hand, in order to convince something or just to for anything, I think language matters.
Yes.
And the mainly now with my future objective and all, the main challenge is being an international student and my the current working the visa conditions to
Yeah.
work on the Australia. So that will be the biggest challenges for
Yes.
me
Okay.
for now.
Hmm. So that's very good. And so, do you think that it was harder studying as an international student in Australia than you thought it would be?
Uh, I I think initially it was a bit harder when I
Mm.
started, but after my first semester, when after I get into
Mm-hmm.
the study culture
Yeah.
and the things in here, after I settled down,
Yeah.
so I believe it's really easy than in Sri Lanka because if we work hard, I think if we give our fullest commitment and if
Mm-hmm.
we organize and if we manage our things, because I believe organizing, manage time management is really matters when it comes
Yeah.
to the Australian education culture. Because especially if I'm talking about my master's program, I had a lot of assignments and lot of exams, quizzes, weekly submissions. So time management and dedication and
Yeah.
hard work, because we just can't do something and just submit. So then definitely you will be fail.
Yeah.
So I believe initially getting adapted to this education system was a bit difficult,
Yeah.
but thereafter, that
Yeah.
if we do our best, if we give our 100%,
Yeah.
it's easy.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So, when do you feel that you're truly at your best?
Oh, I
What?
believe yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, I believe after I achieved my master's, um, I I feel like
Yes.
I did my best
Yeah.
because that was with a lot of challenges,
Yeah.
a lot
Yeah.
of dedication. So yeah.
So you could recognize that you worked hard, not just with your studies, but with learning and adapting to the culture
Yes, because
and developing your language and living in a new country.
yes,
Yep.
because I believe it as my biggest achievement because um, I achieved it with a lot of things because I had to getting adapted to the new country,
Mm.
new culture, and I had to work very hard
Yeah.
and give my fullest dedication to my studies to achieve the grades that I received. So I believe, yeah, that was the
Yeah.
biggest achievement for so far.
Well done. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
So what do you really love about your work as a business analyst?
Well, I believe, as you said, with my previous experience, I was worked as HR
Yeah.
professional. So I realized that there's a huge potential for me with that experience. Business analyst is not just a person who is only deal with the data.
Mm.
So there's a role to work with the stakeholders, just
Yes.
to get the details and all.
Yeah.
So I believe this is perfectly matched with me, with my experience and with my capabilities,
Yes.
because the things that I learned through my master's helped me to get the more detailed understanding about the business analyst as well as my experience back in Sri Lanka, give me a potential to work as a business analyst. So I believe this role is something which perfectly matches with me. So that is why I'm interested on this position. I believe I can do my best. I can do my best with my experience and knowledge and capabilities.
Yeah. And it sounds like you enjoy talking to stakeholders and understanding the different aspects of the business and how they do things and why they do things.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. So in terms of values, I'd like to know a little bit more, and you've touched on it already, but what is the one core thing in terms of values that you won't compromise on, and how has that influenced your life and career?
I believe honesty.
Yes.
Now, as well as empathy, because honesty matters when we are coming to do anything, any work, because we have to give, even if we are recruited by a company, so we have to be honest for them. We have to, starting from the interview to after they assigned us a job, so we have to give our fullest, and we have to be honest on our capabilities and what they're expecting. So I believe honesty is a core value where we can, one value, it is something that we can, it can take us far more rather than we think. With that, if we have that quality, that will help us a lot.
Yeah, that's very good. So when you come up against a situation where you're asked to do something that you feel that you're not capable of doing or you don't know how to do, what would you do in that situation?
Well, first, I will ask from that person, if it is in a workplace or even in university, I will ask them to give me the directions, how to do it. And then I will analyze and I will see with my background and my knowledge, will I be able to do that? So, and then I will prioritize the work, and I will, if I'm capable and if I believe that I can do that, then I will do it with the direction and the coaching, mentoring of that person, because if I'm not knowing about that before.
Yeah. And you mentioned empathy.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I believe empathy is important, because we have to understand how the others feels.
Yes.
That is really important, especially to the role of business analyst, because we have to deal with the requirements of the others.
Yes.
We have to identify what are they, not only into the profession, but also when it comes to our even day-to-day life. I believe empathy matters a lot.
Okay, very good. Thank you. So, Sachi, thank you for sharing your experience and wisdom with us today. So what's next for you? What would you like to happen next?
Well, my next goal is to, because as I'm recently graduated, so my main objective is to being into the job industry in Australia, and especially in South Australia, because I want to start my career as a business analyst, either as an intern or junior business analyst. So that is my next step. So I'm working on that. I have my goals, and I'm working towards that goals to achieve that ultimate goal, just to get into the get a job in the Australian job market.
Yeah, very good. Okay, so well, I wish you all the very best with that.
Thank you so much.
So I'm Sam Cordes in conversation with the exceptional Sachi Arachchi. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.